Last week, the Bank of England cut interest rates, which might sound like good news for your mortgage, but will it really make a difference? If you're looking at getting a mortgage now or have a fixed rate ending soon, understanding how this rate cut could impact you is crucial. My name is Phil from Let Property, and we help thousands of landlords every year to buy and sell their investment properties through our specialist tenanted property investment platform. Let's start with how interest rates work. The Bank of England sets a base rate that influences other interest rates across the economy, and it uses this rate as a tool to control inflation, aiming for around 2% per year. Think of it as a device that controls money flow in the economy. Higher rates make borrowing more expensive and saving more attractive, which slows down spending. Lower rates has the opposite effect, encouraging borrowing and investment. Over the last few years, we've seen rates increase quickly, responding to out-of-control inflation. Now, with a rate cut, borrowing should, in theory, get cheaper, which is positive for investors and home buyers. Here's the challenge. If the bank cuts rates too much or too fast, it risks triggering another surge in inflation. So they're trying to balance cutting enough to boost the economy, but not so much that inflation climbs again. In theory, lower rates means cheaper mortgages, spurring demand on the housing market. When mortgages are more affordable, more people can consider buying homes, which drives up demand and often increases house prices. Lower rates also mean buyers can borrow more for the same monthly payment, giving sellers more leverage on price. However, recent trends have been confusing. Despite interest rates rising over the past couple of years, house prices have only dropped by 2.5% from their peak in 2022, according to the Nationwide. Many expected higher rates to lead to a bigger price drop, but those house prices remain surprisingly stable. This is because other factors like supply levels, wage growth, and overall economic confidence also play a significant role in property values. Now, let's talk about mortgages. For about 20% of homeowners with tracker or variable rate mortgages, which follow the base rate, payments have already started to drop. But for the other 80% who are on fixed rate deals, the situation is different. New fixed rate mortgages won't necessarily get cheaper just because of a base rate cut. Why? When lenders offer fixed rates, they use the swap market to hedge their risks, basing rates on expected interest trends over the next several years. By the way, for those of you wondering what the hell's a swap market, let me know in the comments below if you want me to make a separate video on the subject. If the market expects rates to keep falling, swap rates may have already reflected this in their own fixed-term rates, meaning the bank's interest rate cut might have very little effect on a new mortgage deal. And recently, with the government's budget announcements about increased tax and borrowing, investors have become more cautious. Higher government borrowing increases their costs of lending, potentially raising swap rates even more. In fact, the 5-year swap rate jumped from 3.8% to nearly 4.1% recently, making it pricier for lenders to offer new, lower fixed rate deals. So, what does all this mean if you're planning to get a mortgage soon or have a fixed rate ending? According to brokers, the current outlook suggests mortgage rates may stay around their current levels for a while, even though the base rate is falling. Banks often become more competitive at the start of a new year when they have fresh targets to meet. So we might see slightly better deals at the beginning of 2025, even if the Bank of England doesn't change its rate much. But here's something to keep in mind. Whilst it's natural to want the best possible rate, timing the market perfectly is almost impossible. The world is unpredictable, and waiting for a slightly better rate could mean missing out on a good opportunity now. Securing a manageable rate today gives you stability, even if it's not the absolute lowest. If the rate falls later, you can adjust. But if they rise, you'll be in a stronger position by acting sooner. Remember, a mortgage is a temporary cost, while your property investment builds value over time. Trying to time the market can lead to missed opportunities, whereas starting now allows your investment to grow. For most investors, it's wiser to focus on deals that work with today's rates than to overthink timing. After all, it's time in the market, not timing the market, that really builds value. At Let Property, we have over 1,000 tenanted properties ready packaged, providing immediate cash flow for landlords and property investors. For more information and expert guidance, visit letproperty.co.uk or click the link below today. And don't forget to leave a comment in the box. I'll get back to every single one of them.